What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today will be the second edition of Start Bench Sell. If you haven't seen the first episode, it's a pretty easy concept. There's 3 players which are there, and then I have to say if they were all in the same team, would I start them, or who would I bench and who would I sell? For some of these, they are past players or older players. So for some of them, I'm going to do it based on like their primes, and some I'll just do based on current. And for this episode edition, I just asked ChatGPT for some examples, to be honest. So if you have any you want to see me do next time, which will probably be in another month, so I'm going to try and make this a monthly series, let me know if you want me to do any of your suggestions next. And yeah, let's get into it. First one, you might have seen on the thumbnail, Benzema, Lewandowski, and Suarez. For this one, I'm going to go for their primes. So for Benzema, I'm going to say like around that year when he won the Ballon d'Or, so like 2022, sort of like between 2020 and 2022. For Suarez, I'm going to go sort of 2015 to 2019, and Lewandowski like 2019 to 2022, around that sort of time. So yeah, as you can see, I've got Lewandowski start, Suarez bench, and Benzema sell. Despite Benzema being the only one of the 3 to win a Ballon d'Or, I just think he did have the weakest prime. Even though he did have a really good Ballon d'Or winning season, wasn't great competition that year. And I mean, Lewandowski had a far better season and didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Suarez had about 5 really good seasons, where if Messi and Ronaldo didn't exist, he probably would have won a Ballon d'Or. So yeah, in this hypothetical world where they're all in their primes at the same time on the same team, this is how I would do it. Next up we have De Bruyne, Modric, and Bruno Fernandes. Even though Modric is old, I'm just going to do this on their current performances, I guess. So even though De Bruyne is basically almost injured, I'm just going to do when he's fit at his best, but like his best right now, not his best ever, So yeah, I've started Modric, benched De Bruyne, and sold Bruno. This might be a bit controversial because I know that Modric is getting old, but he still just is Modric, And De Bruyne, when he's fit, he's good De Bruyne, Like, it's pretty obvious that I'm going to put him there. I do think Modric just edges him a bit, to be honest, to first place. And Bruno, I just feel like he's not inconsistent, but he just hasn't been as good as he was those first few years when he moved to Man United. And obviously he is on the worst team out of the 3, but still, just yeah. I just think he's probably the weakest player out of the 3. After that, we have Maldini, Sergio Ramos, Rio Ferdinand. This once again is going to be based on their primes. So Maldini basically his entire time at AC Milan, to be honest. Ramos sort of throughout the 2010s at Real Madrid. Rio Ferdinand probably the late 2000s when he was at Man United. And here you go. Start Maldini, bench Ramos, sell Rio Ferdinand. I'm not going to pretend that I watched Maldini like every week, because obviously I did, and he played like before I was born. But from what I've heard and things I've seen, he's obviously pretty good. Wasn't there a stat where well, I don't know the exact stat, but he was at AC Milan for a long time, regarded as one of the best defenders ever. I mean, it's obvious that I have to put him here first. Well, not first, as starting. And then I got Ramos in second, or on bench, because although he's a bit of a dirty player, when he was Real Madrid captain and they won like 4 Champions Leagues in 5 years or something stupid like that, he was crazy, and he'd score goals as well. Like he was on pins sometimes when Ronaldo wasn't playing, and he scored he scored headers and stuff all the time. Like, he has a crazy goal scoring record. Then Rio Ferdinand, I think it's pretty clear he's the weakest player of the 3. Not to say he's not good, but he's up there with 2 of the best defenders of all time. Probably 2 of the top 3, 4, or 5 best defenders of all time. So it's not too surprising that he's the weakest one. Next, we have Buffon, Casillas, and Neuer. Once again, this is going to be based on their primes because two of them are retired. So Buffon, basically any time between like 2000 and like 2015. Casillas sort of around 2008, 2012 in Spain at the peak. Then Neuer probably like sort of 2013, 2017, around that sort of era. So yeah, started Buffon, benched Neuer, sold Casillas. Buffon, just the longevity was crazy. I mean, as I said before, his prime lasted probably like 15 years. Ridiculous. He only retired like last year as well. And Neuer, he was ridiculously good in his prime, like when he won the World Cup with Germany. Being like Bayern Munich's starting keeper for ages. Did get a red card the other day though, and he has retired from the national team, I believe. And a lot of Bayern fans are not too impressed with him right now, but he is getting a bit older, so it's understandable. And he did break his leg, so probably not going to be the same after that. Then Casillas, I mean, if you're Real Madrid's goalkeeper for like 10 years, you have to be pretty good, but I just think the other two are just better than him, I'm going to be honest. Next up, and I believe this is the last one, John Terry, Carlos Puyol, and Chiellini. Am I the only one who thought Puyol was called Carlos and not Carls? Like, until kind of recently, like, I'm not, like, probably earlier this year, I just thought he was called Carlos Puyol. Anyway, this is going to be primes once again. For John Terry, probably late 2000s, early 2010s. Puyol, similar time. Chiellini slightly later on, probably around mid 2010s. Like, yeah. And I have started Puyol, benched Chiellini, sold John Terry. As a Chelsea fan, this hurts me, but I think it's the right decision. Puyol was the captain of that crazy Barca team under Pep Guardiola. Um, Kind of the defensive stalwart and like the leader in the dressing room, I guess. Then Chiellini, I mean, he was like Juventus's like captain. He was Italy's like main defender for ages as well. He also Chiellini has retired, but only recently. And then we got John Terry, who it's pretty clear that he's the weakest out of the three, I believe. Like he was very good, and as a Chelsea fan, I might be a bit biased, but he's not as good as these two, I don't believe. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. Let me know your suggestions for some more start bench sells. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.